Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Regive TV, the tallest man, Black Africa. William Samoei Ruto has been copy-pasting Uhuru Kenyatta's projects. He has been copy-pasting his legacy. We have seen him relaunching projects that were started by Uhuru Kenyatta. Some of them had already been relaunched by either the former head of state or by William Samoei Ruto himself. Yesterday, William Samoei Ruto gave out Kenyatta University land to the World Health Organization, popularly known as WHO. The same land was given to the same organization by Uhuru Kenyatta, but William Samoei Ruto and his brigade refused and accused Uhuru Kenyatta of corruption, of stealing Kenyatta's university's land, which was wrong in my view. The only difference here is that William Samoei Ruto did not give land to the squatters, the Kamai squatters. Lakini tuliona Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa ametoa lile shamba kwa the World Health Organization and the squatters to be settled there. But William Samoei Ruto had refused. A number of road projects have also been relaunched. Hospitals have not been spared. So in this video, I want us to look at the reason why William Samoei Ruto is copy-pasting Uhuru Kenyatta's regime and activities and projects. The first reason why he's copy-pasting his former boss is because William Samoei Ruto was part of the Jubilee administration. He was in the heart of the Jubilee administration. He was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. He was in the presidency, elected with a joint ticket with Uhuru Kenyatta. But through propaganda, he has managed to convince Kenyans, the gullible Kenyans, that he was not in government. Indeed, Kenyans have been told about the handshake government. This country has never had a handshake government, truth be told. The only time that we saw Baba in government was during Kibaki's time, when he was the prime minister. But Kenyans have bought the idea. They have bought the propaganda by Kenya Kwanza. So the reason why he's relaunching the same project, because he was there when these projects were being formulated. So there's a feeling that what Uhuru was doing was right. Uhuru has been vindicated with time. Truth be told, the other reason, in my view, why he is relaunching and copy-pasting Uhuru Kenyatta's project is because he didn't have a plan. When William Samoei Ruto took over the government, he would tell Kenyans that he has a plan. But Kenyans have come to realize that William Samoei Ruto did not have a plan or where to take this country or how to operate this country. He didn't have any plan. You see, when you hear somebody talking so much about an idea, that is what that person is lacking. For instance, he would tell Kenyans many times, 5 times, 10 times, that we have a plan. He would repeat that statement repeatedly. But when he took over the mantle of the leadership, he did not implement his plan. When you see him copy-pasting, it's because of lack of plan. The other reason why he is copy-pasting Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's project is because the public is demanding for performance. The public is restless. The voters want to see what he is doing. Remember the many projects that he promised Kenyans: roads, dams, free internet, nini. But now the Kenyans are saying that, are telling him that the honeymoon is over. So what you need to do, we need to see what you are doing. It is out of the urge to convince Kenyans that he is working. That is why he is launching, has found himself launching similar projects. Indeed, I'm told, even if he did not give that land to World Health Organization, the United Nations body would have shifted to another friendly country. So when you look at William Samoei Ruto is intelligent, but he doesn't have the wisdom of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was a wise man. He consulted widely. He listened to people with ideas. He allowed his people to work. And this man brought so much development. Though he had his many flaws, because nobody is perfect, he was an excellent person. The second reason why William Samoei Ruto is launching and copy-pasting Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is because of his incompetent team. If there is one president who is working with a very incompetent team, it is William Samoei Ruto. From his cabinet, nobody inspires. From his administration, nobody can inspire you. Indeed, if William Samoei Ruto is to bring any meaningful change in this country, he needs to change his cabinet. He has to reshuffle his cabinet. He has to bring people like Ilogo in his government. If he means business, he has to bring people like Matiang'i if he means business. Because if we continue with the current CS, he is not going anywhere. So that is why his advisors, the cabinet are the ones who comes up with the policy, they formulate the policy of the government, they help in the implementation of the same policy, because they're the executive arm of the government. But this team is clueless. This team lacks knowledge, competence, and experience. It leaves a lot to be desired. So he has found himself relaunching similar projects because of the same team. I saw a letter where State House was writing to cabinet secretaries, instructing them to inform the office of the president of the project that needs to be relaunched. Because there are no project to relaunch. Because what happened is that William Samoei Ruto is not very keen on starting his new projects. He needs to start legacy projects. He's not very keen. Na hii ndio sababu anajipata akiendelea ile miradi ile tu ya Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Na ni yule tu alikuwa anapiga mambo haya yale ambayo alikuwa ameyapiga. Sasa ndiye anayaunga mkono. Sasa ndiye anayafuatilia. Sasa ndiye mtetezi. William Samoei Ruto doesn't start something new, but he ended up taking the credit. Remember, even the 2010 Constitution, he was the leading opponent of the Constitution. But now, he's the chief defender of the same Constitution. Indeed, He's the one who is lecturing Kenyans on how to follow the rule of the law. He's the same person who is lecturing Kenyans about defending the Constitution and how good the Constitution is. The same person who led the opposition of the same Constitution. Again, when you look at William Samoei Ruto, there is a race against time. 8 months down the line, nothing to show. Even the hustlers' funds, I understand, it is almost collapsing. So, he's running against time. Time is not on his side. No projects. Time is running. And Kenyans want to see those projects. So, when you look at it, because we are now done with the half quarter of the year, then this one tells you that before he knows what is happening, he will be done with 1 year. Indeed, Kenyans are asking hard questions these days. They are asking, they want to know what William Samoei Ruto is doing. So when you look at the current situation calls for William Samoei Ruto to be very busy. Indeed, you remember yesterday we saw the Council of Governors led by none other than Anne Mobi Waiguru, the Kenyatta governor, giving the government 14 days ultimatum that if the government is not going to send money to the county governments, the county government will shut down. At this juncture, I would like to ask whether you know, other than maybe his cabinet, do you know of any Kenyan or any organization that is happy with William Samoei Ruto's administration? Truth be told, if the governors are not happy with him, led by Kenya Kwanza governors, they are not happy with him. If the county governments are not happy with William Samoei Ruto, if the civil servants are not happy with William Samoei Ruto, if the police are also not happy with William Samoei Ruto because of the false promise that was to increase their salaries, he hasn't. People of Mount Kenya who voted for him overwhelmingly wana hasira za mkizi kwa kupuuza, kwa kuwadanganya kwamba angewaletea mafanikio na maendeleo mengi. I think the only group of people that are happy with William Samoei Ruto's administration is the Kalenjin nation. The rest of the country is not happy with him. This one has moved him to go and launch Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's project. After all, he is now, I know Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta could be laughing wherever he is. When he look at William Samoei Ruto and the way he used to oppose him, he must be laughing. Again, the other reason why I believe he needs, or he is copy-pasting Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is because, you know, when you look at William Samoei Ruto, you see somebody who doesn't have the knowledge of statecraft. Statecraft is a business. It requires somebody with skills to negotiate, skills to lobby for support, skills to lobby for fundings, skills to achieve so many things. You need to be a team leader, not necessarily a politician. And this is the difference between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Mwai Kibaki, and William Samoei Ruto. If you look at Mwai Kibaki, he was a people's servant. If you look at Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, he was a social being, very dedicated to his work. He was accused of drinking beer. He was accused of drinking Jameson. But nevertheless, he was sober because he achieved. At no time did he sleep on his job. The country achieved a lot under his leadership. I don't know what you think. Because when you look at William Samoei Ruto, it is calling for something urgent. When you look at William Samoei Ruto, it's like a horse running without a head, a headless horse at Gongre's course. And this is where we are. I think Kenyans need to interrogate the leadership of the president. Kenya needs to see results, good results. Kenya needs development. Kenya needs unity of purpose. We don't want tribalism. We don't want nepotism. We want a country that is peaceful, a country that is united, a country that is speaking in one language. This is your host, Regis, the tallest man in Black Africa, and may you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.